Hello, a very warm welcome to you from what is a very foggy day here in Merseyside. I hope you're well. I hope you've been making lots of lovely things, and thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing some simple stringing using beautiful gemstone chips. We've got heart pendants as well. So if you're looking for some potential Valentine's makes, this could be a good one to get you going. We've got lots of beautiful gemstones. We've also got a mix of colours. So if you can't decide between, what gemstone you'd like to use, we have got mixed ones available as well. So I'll take you over to the website very shortly and I'll show you the beautiful components that we have to play with today. We've also got gorgeous heart toggle clasps. So they're just very, very pretty. You know, when I'm working with gemstones, I am a happy bunny. So I'm going to say good morning to Anastasia. She says she's got a snowstorm. It's 5 a.m. in Atlanta, Georgia, and it sounds cold. I hope you're okay. Are you getting to, mind you, if it's snowing, you can go out and you can make a snowman or snow person or whatever it is that you want to do. I made a snow duck and a snow dinosaur last time. But if it's a snowstorm, then it's a day for staying in, isn't it? And just get beading and get making. I hope you're well. Good morning to Rachel, who's in a very wet barrow. Christine's in as well. She says it's a bit warmer where she is. And Camille's popped in as well. She has another foggy day here. So is it foggy all over? Because my husband's travelling away and he said it was okay where he was, but today you can barely see down the end of the street. It's that foggy. Hopefully it'll brighten up a little bit later. I never want to go out when it's cold. So I'm going to take you over to the website. We are totallybeads.co.uk, and today I've called this the Colleen Gemstone chip necklace. So if you head into the video tutorial category options, as you know, there's a few different ways you can get into it. It's just this first one here. So Colleen Gemstone necklace. I think I need to put my teeth in today, don't I? I'm a bit stuttery. So look at them, they're absolutely beautiful. We've got loads of gorgeous colours for you, and you can choose what colour heart charm you want and what findings as well. So if you'd prefer them on the gold or the silver, you've got that option. I'm using lovely little spacer beads. They are 3mm in size. The gemstone chips obviously vary in size because they are natural gorgeous gemstones. So I'm just going to get them all out on my desk and pick out the ones that I like when I'm coming to use and demo. I'm going to do the malachite one. I think they do vary in price because obviously each gemstone is different. So we've got some of them from £6.99, and I think the most expensive one is the malachite one, which is £12.99. But we have got an offer on for you today, which is buy two and get 15% off. So if you can afford to do that, make the most of that offer. So we've got a lovely light amethyst for you, really beautiful light, kind of lilac-y, purpley colour. We've got the malachite as well, which is one of my absolute favourite gemstones. It is a genuine gemstone, hence why it's a little bit more expensive. Gemstones can obviously vary in price and vary in quality. I would say malachite is one of the most faked really on the market. This isn't. It's got beautiful banding in it. You can tell a fake malachite because there's no black within a malachite stone. It's very dark deep green bands, and the bands, the way it's formed, it's kind of like it's dropped onto it becomes like a stalactite or a stalagmite. I'm not sure which way round it goes. And it's that build up of those deposits that create those bands. So you tend not to get very straight uniform lines in it. If you work with it a lot, you can tend to tell by eye quite easily. But I'm going to be demoing with that today. It's a beautiful green colour. We have the mixed. So if you want to do mixed gemstones, we've got that available for you on a gold colourway or a silver colourway, which will be your pendant and your spacer beads that change, as well as your beautiful clasps. And I'll show you the clasps down on the mat as well. So that is the mixed for you. We've also got a red adventurine, which has got beautiful kind of orange and peach colours through it. We've got a smoky quartz, a beautiful sodalite, again one of my favourites, and the most amazing strawberry quartz as well. I'll show you this down on the map because the colours in it, if you like pink, then the strawberry quartz is definitely for you. The mix looks beautiful together as well. So as I say, if you're looking to make jewellery for Valentine's Day, heart themed, then this might be a perfect make for you. I'll show you in a little bit closer up what you get. So this one here is the light amethyst. You can see I've popped this with the silver, so I'm just popping those silver spaces in, kind of clustering up, gives it a lovely kind of flow and organic feel to it. The hearts that you've got are beautiful. They're the same whether you choose the gold or the silver. They've got like a beautiful floral motif on it, and it's the same front and back as well. This is how it looks when it's down on the mat, so you get to see that gorgeous heart toggle. So we've got this beautiful spotted quite a chunky toggle in an antique silver or an antique gold, which complements the metal on the charms really beautifully. So in each of your kit, it's making a bracelet too. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, well, and that is a really good price. You've got your necklace and a bracelet in your kit. Obviously, you're only going to get one of these hearts. I think they'd probably be too large to wear as a bracelet. But maybe not. Maybe you want to pop that on the bracelet instead. So you're going to be getting your acrylic heart pendant, your gemstone chips, your spacer beads, your Tigertail wire. The Tigertail I'm using is a 0.45. We're going to be getting the crimp beads and culottes to give it a professional finish, that gorgeous toggle clasp, and your jump rings too to attach your toggle clasp and your heart pendant. So everything you need in your kit. If you want to have a little look, you can see all the measurements and bits and bobs down on the bottom. So I'm using a 3mm dark silver plated spacer on this colourway with the spotty heart 18mm toggle. Gorgeous amethyst in this. It is a light amethyst, so it's not a deep dark purple. It's a beautiful it just looks like it's been kissed. It's gorgeous. And then you've got your acrylic heart toggle as well. So it's quite a light wear, not too heavy, but still giving that kind of chunky look. So this one is your light amethyst, and that is £7.99, but we do have the buy two get 15% off. This is the gorgeous malachite. I've popped this with the gold. Again, as I was speaking on the last slide in terms of like nature and how colours work, you often find a malachite with, that copper or copper deposit. So I think it looks nice against the gold. If you wanted to multi-buy, you can, of course, change that over. So if you think I want the malachite, but I want it on the silver, maybe get the sodalite as well, and then you can swap them around how you wish. I think the sodalite would look gorgeous on the gold too. So this is your beautiful malachite necklace. Hopefully you can see that okay. If I just flick back a screen just to check. There you go. I'll lower that down a little bit more. So again, all your components in there, you can scroll down and have a little look. They're exactly the same, just a different gemstone chip and of course a different colour. So this is your gold version. So that is your beautiful malachite necklace. We've got the mixed in the gold, so you can see we've got an array of different gemstones running through there. There's sodalite, there's tiger eye, I can see some light amethyst, I can see unakite. What else have we got? Looks like a red jasper. That might be a lapis. A real mix, really lovely, and those colours look gorgeous together. That is on the gold. So you can see how they look. So you could pick out and kind of ombre them if you wanted to. You could cluster them together. So you could sit for a little while and think, I want all of the tiger eye pieces together. I want those colours running into this. Or you can just take it straight off the strand and it's already mixed beautifully for you. If you really want the mixed, but you want it on the silver, then that's available too. That's only £6.99. Again, you're getting all of those beautiful different gemstones in there. And your gemstone chip will be, a mixture of kind of shapes and sizes. So it gives a nice texture to your necklace and your bracelet. We've got quite a long strand of gemstone chips, whichever one you've chosen. So you will have enough to make a bracelet, maybe even a little pair of earrings if you wanted to as well. This one is £6.99. This is your red aventurine. So you can see we've got those beautiful kind of warm orange colours in there, some peaches, some creams, really, really beautiful, and some kind of deeper redder ones as well. So I've placed this on with the gold. You can have a little look there what that string looks like. There's a very long string of gemstone chips. We do have a offer on at the moment, which is saying that we are doing round gemstone beads, and we've got shorter strings as well. So you know, if you're making, you just want to make maybe one bracelet, you can choose a shorter strand as well if you want. This one is your smoky quartz. Really love the look of the smoky quartz. You've got well, kind of smoked effect, so you've got more kind of it's like a clear quartz, but then you've got those dark tones in it. So you've got like greys and kind of, I don't know what colour. It's kind of got like a silver touch to it. So that one is your smoky quartz, and that is on the silver. That would look gorgeous as well against the gold if you wanted to swap your finds. If you do, of course, want to just buy one and you want to buy extra you know, findings or spaces, you can always add these into your basket at the bottom as well if you want to get any additional bits and bobs. And then we've got the sodalite. So sodalite is an absolutely gorgeous gemstone, predominantly blue. You've got this kind of mottled effect on it. Lapis has pyrite inclusion, so you'll see the difference. You'll have gold speckles in your lapis. Sodalite just looks like the sea, really gorgeous. Put that on the silver. You can see the detail on that heart there. If I scroll, I'm hoping you can see that nice and clearly. There you go. So we've got heart, a lovely big rounded kind of heart shape. It's kind of puffed out, and then you've got those lovely kind of flower etchings in there, maybe some daisies. So that's complemented by that lovely spotted heart toggle as well. And then lastly, but by no means least, we've got the strawberry quartz, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Real kind of pink colours, some deep kind of cherry reds. And I've placed that on the gold, so you get to have a little look what the colours look like on that strand. So everything you need in your kit, I'm going to use about 60 centimetres of Tigertail, which is 24 inches, to make a nice long length necklace, but you can add less if you want to, you know, make that shorter. You can change that neckline really easily. I'm using tool wise, I'm just going to use 2 pairs of pliers, some chain nose pliers or pliers which are flat on the inside, just to open up those jump rings. And I've got some you can use crimping pliers or flat tweezer nose pliers just to flatten down the crimp bead at the end, and some cutters. That's all I'm going to use, all done by hand. And we're going to get stringing now. So drop me a comment, let me know which one do you like the most. Do you have a favourite gemstone? I don't really have a favourite gemstone. It changes quite a lot. One minute I like one, and then I'll be drawn to a completely different colour. But I do love a gemstone. So I'm going to quickly head back into the comments and we can start making together. Lisa's in, good morning to you. Good morning to, we've got loads of you in, which is lovely. So let me scroll up so I've not missed anyone. Rachel saying she's good, which is lovely. Not foggy in Darlington, says Christine. So it must be just up my way, up in the northwest of England. Anastasia is in bed looking at you on a phone under a blanket. Well, stay warm, Anastasia. That sounds really cozy. I'd quite like to get back into bed. I'm tired today. Joanne says good morning. It's a little bit misty but not foggy. It's very damp too where she is. Good morning to Anne. Hello to Lisa. Elena's in. Mina's in. She's going, ooh, gemstones. Oh, Rachel's got some lemon tea with honey this morning. Oh, well, hopefully, if you've got a sore throat, that'll fix you. Oh, I didn't know that, Anna, or did I? Have I been told that before? Smoky quartz is Scotland's national stone. I didn't know. I didn't know we had a national stone. I'm saying we. I know Scotland's not England, but have we got a national stone then? Has England got one? Ooh. That's brilliant. I want to find that out. See, learning something new every day. Anastasia's loving the toggle clasp. It's really, really pretty. She also likes the mixed chips. All of them are so beautiful. And she has to look at her beads before she places an order so she can match them up. That's a good idea. She's also saying she might send the package to her neighbour's house when her husband's at work. So is that so he doesn't find out what you're ordering? Just tell him what you've saved. Tell him you got the 15% discount. It was a good offer. You couldn't resist. Jackie's in. Hello to you. Joanne saying she loves the light amethyst, smoky quartz and sodalite and the mixed. So you like most of them then, Joanne. Good morning to Linda and hello to Judith. Okay, now I've got you lovely lot in. Let me see if I can bring my mat up and you can see just what I'm working with today. Is that working? There we go. There we go. So down on the mat, you can see how beautiful these gemstones and colours are. It's a very, very busy mat. I haven't even been able to fit them all in. So we will just do a quick flash to camera so you can see how they look. So we have here the very beautiful amethyst. So it's a lovely light coloured amethyst. And then I've put that with the silver. So you can see the detail on that heart and it's the same on both sides. And that's the side profile. So although it's, you know, because it's acrylic, it's nice and lightweight. It does give that lovely kind of chunky look to it. Mina says she wants all of them. Gorgeous flowers etched into it. And it's also kind of been given like a patinaed look. So you can see those kind of darker sections in really just to bring that pattern out really nicely. And your heart toggle, absolutely gorgeous. I love these toggle clasps. So nice and chunky, really easy to use and to wear, and sits nice and comfortable around your neckline as well. So I've just popped the spaces in between. That one is your light amethyst. I will gently place it next to me. This one here is your red aventurine. So predominantly orange in colour. And you can see just how different those chips are, not only in colour, but also in size and shape. And that one is on the gold heart. Again, same on both sides, so you don't have to worry too much about which way round you put this on. And that is your heart clasp. If you sell your jewellery, then you might be, you know, doing things for themes at the moment and think you need to get a start on your Valentine's makes. They also make gorgeous gifts and wearable all year round. This is your malachite. So you can see it's got beautiful banding within the stones. Gorgeous green colour. But you can see here, if I show you this chip, it's very, very, very dark, but it isn't black. Gorgeous piece. So this is what I'm going to be demoing for you today. This one is on the gold. We've got the beautiful sodalite on the silver. So you can see the colours in that, predominantly blue. But you've got these lovely kinds of white. It's not banding, but just kind of like a mottled kind of look in some of them. Really, really beautiful. I love how each one is unique. That is on your silver. Your smoky quartz. It's got a gorgeous luster to this as well. I love how the light bounces off it. Hello to Mel, she says, evening all from Australia. It's 9:15 in the evening here and they are lovely. Thank you so much for joining me, Mel. I hope you're well. This is your strawberry quartz. Oh, just love the colour of this one. Really, really beautiful. Don't forget you've got enough to make a bracelet in there as well. Look at the colours though. Really beautiful. Gorgeous pinks. We've got some deeper ones as well. And then lastly, we've got the two mixed. And you can choose from whether you want that on the gold or the silver. So, I mean, I can't pick out all of the gemstones in this. That is a unakite. That looks like a citrine. Not sure if it's heat treated. You've got some sodalites, some blue stone, which is a man-made stone. Well, it's gold stone, but it's a blue gold stone, sometimes referred to as monkstone. That is a sodalite. That's an amethyst. That looks like a mahogany jasper. I mean, you've got some kind of really rounded ones as well. Really beautiful. I'd say that's a venturine. I'd say that one could even be an amazonite. There's a Dalmatian jasper there. So a really lovely mix of different stones and different colours. Lots to kind of admire. So, really straightforward make. I'm going to get my Tigertail out. I'm going to cut about 60 centimetres, which is 24 inches for those who work in that measurement. So I'm just going to lay it against my ruler and then cut it off my reel. So I'm just going to take my wire cutters and give it a little trim. This is a 0.45 Tigertail, which will be included in your kit. Lovely and strong and sturdy material. It is quite curly, it doesn't matter, but you can kind of run that through your fingers just to get any major kinks out if you want to. Always comes curly when it's been on your reel because there's wires inside. So you've got I think this is 7, so there's about 7 very thin pieces of wire, and then it's got this nylon coating in it which just makes it nice and strong and durable and lovely for stringing when you're stringing a project like this, whether it be a bracelet or a necklace. Hello to Edward, how are you doing? Joanne says, do you know what under your camera on them? Do you know what under your camera on the mat? They're all gorgeous. Obviously sodalite is going to draw my attention as blue is my favourite colour, but they're all beautiful. Yeah, they're all gorgeous. I haven't really got a favourite today. I'm liking the red aventurine actually. I'm loving the strawberry quartz. I'm loving them all. Right, so I'm going to use the gold colourway with this kit. So I've got that beautiful heart. And I'm just going to start off really easily by attaching my heart onto a jump ring. So this is a outer diameter 6 by 1 millimeter, which means the inner diameter is 4 millimeters. They will be in your kit. The 1 millimeter refers to the gauge of the wire. I'm just going to open that up a little bit just to slide it on through that loop at the top of my heart and then close that over. I want to make sure it's fully closed, that jump ring, so it doesn't slip off my Tigertail at any point. I'm then going to get my gorgeous gemstone chips out and I'm just going to cut them off my strand and lay them on my table. Now the reason why I do this is they're all going to be completely different sizes and shapes. Your malachite tends to be more kind of rectangular shaped on your strand, but what I want to do is I just want to take a few really, because as I'm placing them on, I'm going to place them on in clusters of 3 and I kind of want that even spread, so I will pick that's a similar size and that's a similar size when I place them on. So let's take them all off. I'm going to be using all of them. And I think that this here that I've just emptied on my desk is like half a strand. So you can see there's absolutely loads on the strand that you get, enough to make your bracelet as well. So I'm going to start off by popping that jump ring through onto the tiger tail, and I'm just going to hold both ends of my tiger tail just to find that centre. So that's just going to hang there. And then when I place on my gemstone beads, I'm going to frame them with some little spacer beads. So my spacer beads here are 3mm in size. I'm just going to add whatever I do onto one side onto the other, so I've got that symmetry. You can, if you want to, attach your findings onto the end and then just work that way. But I'm just going to place those two down on the bottom and work from the middle out. And then it's just straight string, and I've got a very curly piece of tiger tail here. But once I've put my chips on, it should kind of straighten out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick out my beads and kind of, not my beads, sorry, my chips, and just have a little look at them. It doesn't have to be, you know, an exact science, but I kind of want to roughly pick out some which are a similar size. And your drill holes might not always be fully central in the middle on a chip, as long as it's not right at the end. So that one should be absolutely fine, but sometimes they can be fine towards the side. And then if the chip is, you know, slightly more delicate, you might just want to be a bit mindful of that when it's banging together, that it doesn't, you know, break off. So I'm just going to pick up 3 gemstones chips on each side. And I'm going to place them onto my tiger tail, and then slide them down towards the bottom, and then pop on another spacer. So in total I've used about 44 of my spacer beads on the necklace, and that's because I'm just adding on 3 chips and then a spacer. Now obviously if I was using you know, not being that mindful, I could pick up one on one side which are smaller in size, and then I could pick up another which are a little bit more chunky, and I wouldn't necessarily have that even spacing. They are going to move around, but I just kind of want to get it so they're kind of similar. They don't have to be similar in shape necessarily, but just in size on both sides. So I've got a fairly even spacing on both. And I'm just picking up one by one. And I'll probably stop to admire as I go. Just love malachite. As you know, I like looking at kind of the history of a gemstone and like the geology where it's found. I know not everybody is into the kind of metaphysical, kind of spiritual beliefs of gemstones, and that's, you know, absolutely fine, each to their own. But they are wonders of the earth, you know, to think that you can have such colour just made through like different mineral kind of composites. Just find it very exciting. I love looking at the history of the gemstones too. I apologise for that, a phone call. So yeah, malachite's been very much favoured for a long time, thousands and thousands of years. Egyptians used to like it very much. I think Catherine the Great had a room made entirely of malachite. I think it was malachite. Cleopatra used to use it apparently as like ground down as eyeshadows. I wouldn't suggest wearing it on your face, but I would definitely suggest wearing it around your neck. So it's a really straightforward project, doesn't involve much concentration. I'm just picking up 3 gemstones and placing them onto the tiger tail on each side. So you can see They sometimes will sit differently because of the way the drill hole is, so you might want to just flip it round and get them to sit a little bit flatter. And you can also play around with your design in terms of, you might want smaller gemstones towards the back and more chunky ones at the front. Am I one bead short on one side? Said Camille. I don't think so. I think I've got the right amount of beads and chips so far. If you do make a mistake, and I had looked at one sample I'd made, hadn't put my spacer in, I just put a longer length of chips in, but I'd done the same on both sides, so it didn't really matter. As long as you've got kind of like a basic symmetry with it. So I'm using those ones because they're both quite kind of long, and the drill hole is towards the end of the chip. But it's going to create a lovely texture on your necklace because you haven't got that uniformity in terms of, the round bead. Look how little and triangular that one is. I will just get lost looking at them. So don't worry if you add a couple extra on. Sometimes you might find that one of your chips is much bigger in size and you might want to put 2 on just to kind of even it out. Yolanda says, if anyone's got hot weather, please send it to Michigan. It's 0 degrees here. Oh my gosh. We have had some very cold weather here too. I know it's been snowing a lot in the US in certain places, and you've got all sorts going on climate-wise, haven't you, at the minute? But we've had, my husband was in Aberdeen a couple of weeks ago, which is in Scotland, and it was -20 up on the coast, which I just think is absolutely baffling. It was -5 here at the time, and that's cold. I'm ready for spring. But January always feels like a very blue month here in the UK. Also, it's like the longest month as well. Everyone's waiting for payday, and it feels like there's like a million days in 1 month. Well, it does for me anyway. Wow, I love the difference in temperatures wherever you're watching from. So Mel's just said it's 26 degrees here at the moment. I'm sitting in front of the air conditioner. We're never happy, are we? We're either too hot or too cold. So all I'm doing is just stringing on until I've got the length that I want. I do want this as quite a long necklace. I just think look at the size of that one. I like how this sits. But if you wanted to make it shorter, you just add in less chips on. If you've got the mixed strands, you might want to kind of colour match as well. So you might want either the same gemstone on either side, or you might want to do it kind of by size again, or tone. So you could probably play around with the design a little bit more if you were to buy one of the mixed versions. It's not going to be an exact science in terms of the sizes that you're picking out, because each one's going to be individual. But I do quite like the look that gives, so I tend to pick up kind of the larger ones towards the front and then work my way down. As I get towards the back of the necklace, maybe use slightly smaller sized ones. And obviously consider that when you're doing your bracelet as well. You might want to have the larger size ones on the middle of your wrist, and then working out towards the ends you might want to pop slightly smaller ones, or you might want to just pick out the smaller ones for the bracelet and leave your larger ones for your necklace. Amina's got lots of events coming up. Joanne says, my husband says the only good thing about January is my birthday month. So your gemstone in January then, Joanne, would be a garnet, yeah? And then if you've got a February birthday coming up, you might want to get the light amethyst. Amethyst is the birthstone associated with the month of February. So you can see as I'm putting those gemstones on, the weight of them is just pushing that tiger tail into a nice shape. I have got another strand here that I thought I'd probably use, but actually you get so many on these strands. I mean, you might actually have enough to make like a double-stranded necklace. If you are doing a double-stranded necklace, make your inner strand slightly smaller than your outer strand so it fits nicely inside with each other. Oh, that's kind of you. Camille says, my daughter is February, so I've made quite a few amethyst things for her. And she says she's got too many now. Nonsense. You can never have too many pieces of jewellery. And you can never have too many gemstones. Interesting to have a look what gemstone I've got the most of. You go through phases where you're quite drawn to certain things. Also quite interesting to know which gemstones I don't own, and then obviously have to add that to my list. I want to get them all. Yeah, Joanna, I agree. She says you can never have enough amethyst. So again, I'm picking out if I've got quite a long one, I'll pop a longer one onto the other side as well. I'm just keeping going up, placing on a little cluster of 3 gemstone chips and then adding on that spacer bead just to kind of break it up and add that little touch of kind of metal detail in between. You can, if you want, put, you know, more than 3 gemstones on. You might want to do, you know, double up your spacer beads. You might want to just pop 1 on surrounded by a spacer bead. It's just to kind of punctuate the gemstones, really. You can design this however you want to. There's not much to it. I think when you've got gorgeous components, beautiful gemstones, you can afford to kind of keep it simple, and it gives a very elegant look. Okay, just looking at that one. It's the first one I've come across, where it should be okay, but you can see that the exit and inner kind of holes on that chip are fairly close together. So if this was to get knocked, that might split. So I am going to just take that one off, pop that to the side. You want something where you've got, doesn't have to be central, but you need to just be mindful of where those drill holes are, just to make sure you've got a nice sturdy piece. I think I'm going to open up my other strand so you can see here just how long that strand of chips is that you get to play with. So you know, you can afford to be a little bit savvy if you do find the odd one that you think, I'd rather have, you know, a different shape or a different colour. You can pick and choose. Usually when I'm putting makes together, I count out the beads, which is it's fine unless you're doing something with seed beads. That can take quite a long time to count how many you need. But then we can figure out, you know, how many makes that you can get out of the kit. Of course, it's difficult to do with gemstones because I could count how many chips rather that I've used, but then on the next necklace, using exactly the same design, I might use more or less because the gemstones might be smaller or bigger, and they vary. So I'm just looking where the drill hole is on the stone and sliding that through. It's a nice big chunky one. Maybe it's a bit big for the back. So I'm working up towards the end of my tiger tail. I've got green on my jumper today, so maybe that's why I've been drawn to the malachite when I was getting it out this morning. And then when I'm happy with the length that I've got, I'm going to just do one more cluster on this. So I will use Another cluster of 3. And then I'm going to finish off with 2 spaces on each end. And I'm adding the spaces in on the end just to make sure that when I come to open and close my toggle clasp, I've got that little bit of wiggle room. So if I place these down on the mat, if I just pick one up to show you. Ideally, you want your toggle to be able to lay flat, so you can get it in and out, or you can get the bar in and out of the heart loop. So by just adding a couple of those gorgeous 3mm spacer beads, that will allow that to happen, and also that just matches in and ties in nicely with the culottes that I'm going to add. Anastasia says, I love tiger eye, brown and red, fluorite, all jade, clear quartz, hematite, all colours, and lava rocks. So you've got quite a lot of favourites. Natalie, was there some blood dragon bead, chip beads? I think there possibly is. We've got all sorts on the website, Anastasia. I've just picked a few out. But yeah, we've got an array. So do check out the website. If there's any others that you want, you could always just buy the heart toggle, the heart charm, and the spacer beads and put your own kind of version together with whatever you like. So I popped on my 2 ends. I'm going to kind of shape it. Obviously, my beads can twist round, and that can expose a little bit of tiger tail if they flip, because obviously the shape of the bead is irregular, or the chip rather. So I'm just going to kind of get it into that nice kind of rounded shape that I'm after. And I'm going to apply my culottes and my crimp beads. So I'm going to double crimp as usual, just to make sure it's nice and strong and sturdy. You can use your crimping pliers to do this, but they're going to be hidden inside of the culotte. So I'm placing my culotte, or knot cover, however you refer to it, or clamshell, and I'm facing it so my loops are facing outwards. I'm going to then add on 2 of my crimp beads. I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to move the first crimp bead right up towards the end of the tiger tail, and I'm going to just press on it gently just to flatten it out. So you can see there I've gone from a nice rounded crimp bead to a flat bit, and then I'm going to bring that next crimp bead up right next to it and flatten that down too. So I've double crimped. If there's any tiger tail, it's a teeny bit there, just sticking out the end, you can give it a little trim. And then I'm going to bring that culotte up over both of the crimp beads. So the crimp beads sitting inside of it, that's why you want them sitting together. And then as I close it over with my fingers, I'm kind of trapping or encasing those crimp beads inside. So you don't have to worry about having a perfect crimp bead, because you can't see it anyway. I'm adding this culotte on to make that nice professional finish, and I'm just going to press gently on the outside of those rounded bits just to close it over, and that will make these 2 little bits aligned so I can get my jump ring through. I'm now going to push up on my tiger tail. So I'm sliding those beads, or those chips rather, all the way up. Oh, I've dropped one. I've dropped a bead. So I'm sliding them up all the way to make sure that my beads are sitting right up nice to that culotte there, and that there's no gaps in it. So just spend a little time. They don't necessarily slide quite like beads do, so I'm just making sure they're all positioned as I want them. Give them a little bit of a flip and a turn if needed, so they're sitting nicely together. Of course, you can just crimp right down to the bottom and cut off, but I think this way just kind of saves any little additional ends of tiger tail. I should have that symmetry on both sides where that heart is, so if I was to line them up, they should be roughly those little spaces in the same place. I'm going to get that nice curve, so I've got my tension right, and now I'm just going to add on my next culotte. So clock going down to the bottom. Thanks, Yolanda. Yeah, I'm ready for spring, hence the nails. I just want some warmer weather. I'm going to put on just one crimp bead for now. And I want that crimp bead to sit right inside of that culotte, and that culotte to sit nice and neatly flush against that spacer bead. I'm coming in with my pliers. These are, a lot of people ask me what pliers I use, which these ones are. These are tweezer nose pliers. They're by the brand Joron. The only reason I'm using them is it gives me that ability to get right inside of that culotte, so I can flatten down that crimp bead and it's nice and close. So it's hidden inside. And I'm going to put that next crimp bead on. Double crimping to make sure it's extra strong and sturdy. And I'm going to drop that crimp bead down on top of the last one. Do apologise for my nails being a bit chipped. I'd made a ton of jewellery yesterday. I'm then going to place my pliers around it and squish it down. If you're using your crimping pliers, crimp accordingly and then kind of, fold it over. But I find this just makes those two little flat bits now will fit nicely inside of that culotte. I'm going to trim off my excess bit of tiger tail. So I kind of bend it really to the side just to make sure I'm not chopping into the crimp bead or the culotte itself. And I'm going to cut it nice and close. And then again, folding it over with my fingers just to make sure it's nicely lined up. And then with my chain nose, I'm just going to press the outer side of that culotte just so I can kind of close it over and make sure those crimp beads are nicely hidden. All I have to do now is take out two more of my jump rings and attach my lovely toggle. So you can pop your toggle whichever way round you want. Your necklace will be the same on the front and the back because this heart pendant is the same on both sides. So I'm going to take my jump ring and I'm going to give it a little twist towards me to open, just enough that I can slide that through the ends of the culotte. And then I'm going to add on either my gorgeous spotted heart part of the toggle or my bar. And then take that jump ring away from myself, so I'm turning it away, making sure it's perfectly lined up, nicely closed. And the same on the other side, twist to open, jump ring through the culotte end, adding on the bar, and then closing it back over. And there you go. I can now lay that bar flat to get that through. And I've got a beautiful gemstone chip heart necklace. This one being malachite. I will pop it on so you can see. Oh, okay. I'll need to have a little look for you, see if I can find you the link. So, I mean, it's blending in a little bit too much with this jumper, but I've got quite a nice long length on that there. Can you see? but they're really, really lovely. The toggle just makes it really easy to get on and off. So if you've got, you know, any dexterity problems, having that larger toggle, I think just helps being able to get it on with ease. Camille says, go back in the comments about England's national stones. Oh, I'm going to have a little research later because I feel like I've missed that. I don't know what it would be. I could guess. I mean, it could be like a fluorite. We've got Blue John Mine, don't we, in the UK, in England, and that's like the only place you can get that type of fluorite. So, but I don't know. Don't feel like it's going to be very exciting. Thank you so much for being with me today, Yolanda. Anastasia's saying, did you go grocery shopping before yesterday and have you heard all the stories? Do you have in? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to have to go back through the comments and have a little look. I'm not sure when I'm back with you next week. I've got the lovely Laura is going to be with you on Monday. I've got my father-in-law's funeral next week, so I'm going to take a little bit of time to be with my family and be with them. So I'm not too sure. Not too sure when I'm back, but I know what I'm making when I come back. We've got beautiful bangles. They are made with wire and the most beautiful satin pearl beads. So whether that be Friday or whether that be the Monday the 3rd, I'm not too sure yet. I'm still trying to get things sorted on my side. But the lovely Laura is going to be with you on Monday. So if you have an opportunity to come and join us then please do. Rachel says, lovely, thank you. Anastasia says, that's nice, I love the toggle. It's a very pretty necklace. So thank you so much for being with me today. I hope you have a very lovely week and I hope you have a very, very lovely weekend. Linda's saying beautiful, love the chips and love the heart toggle clasp. Thank you, Natalie. You're most welcome, Linda. If you're looking for how to make these and you want to use this kit, then head over to the Totally Beads website. It's called the Colleen Gemstone necklace. Gorgeous hearts on there. We've got a variety of different coloured gemstones, different gemstones and different colours, whether you want it to be on the silver or the gold. Thank you, Judith. I hope you all have a lovely week and I will see you very soon.